Third and final heat to kick off individual test number 3, semi-final Linda. Now, Austin, we think about the first time we saw Linda come out, and that was in 2018. Now, you were a man of deadlift proficiency. How did this test stack up in 2018 for you, for what you remember?
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think then and now, I do think that the limiting factor is the same, is the bench press.
Okay.
When you think about how often that we do these 3 movements, we pull off the floor a lot, right? And this is traditionally a lot of pulling of the back, right? Deadlift and the squat clean off the floor, but the dumbbell bench really does add a layer of complexity, because most people don't dumbbell bench as much as barbell, and you're seeing that in the heats here. So, and even with the barbell, when it's heavy like it is, there's nowhere to hide, and when it goes away, it goes away.
I mean, we saw that no more apparent than what happened to Brooke Wells in the previous heat, who was leading by what seemed like maybe a minute on the field, and then once we got to the set of 6, right? In a 10-to-1 format, usually about that midway point of 7 is your halfway point as far as total reps are concerned. And then, I mean, it took her about what looked like 10 reps to get 1 towards the end. Is that when it comes down to that, how hard is it to control maybe that element of panic that comes in on the competition floor?
Yeah, it's the element of panic, because you in a setting like this, you can see and feel it slipping from your hands. But then we're used to, as athletes, having hip-mediated movements where you can recover so much quicker, and you can mask muscle fatigue with speed and efficiency. With the bench press, there's nowhere to hide. And that's something that not a lot of athletes are used to. We don't do a lot of strict work, specifically on a barbell or a dumbbell. So a lot of it is unknown to athletes, and that's why I think you see some of the points of failure happen almost at uncertain times. Where in other workouts, you can see the athletes are gaming that failure. In workouts like this, I think it is a little more unknown.
Athletes are working into their set of 8. That dumbbell bench posing to be a big challenge for a lot of these athletes. Early leaders, it looks like Amanda Barnhart, Paige Powers is up there in the front of the pack. And in lane number, we got Emma Carey, Alexis Raptis.
In their uniform, our elite women, this crowd sure is pretty quiet. Let's make some noise, Orlando. What's going on? It's Saturday.
Carolyn Stanley in the mix as well. Awesome, we see everybody going singles off the bat here for the clean portion. Squat clean, 105 is the weight for the women. We have anybody seen touch and go until maybe the last round, like maybe the 3-2-1 is an option. And is this a part of, not to say there's a time where you can rest or recover, but is this a managing section of this triplet?
Yeah, as I think it was articulated there at the end, you're never, at this weight for these athletes, you're never going to fail a rep. It's smooth, it's light to moderate. So again, when we see this type of stuff, this is get through it, because we also want to moderate the heart rate. And if you touch and go even a set of 5, your heart rate goes through the roof. And they need to control that again for the bench press.
Center part of your screen, it is Annika Greer, who's over there in lane 19. Thank you, Mike Halpin. Just show us the video while we're trying to watch it on. Annika Greer in lane 19 in the blue pants is trying to make up some ground she lost. She didn't have the best day yesterday. There's a lot of hype coming in. She had missed qualification last year on a submission error. And she was one of those athletes, a young superstar on the rise that potentially had games aspirations, having to sit out a whole year here on the competition floor. Jocelyn, you've come in and out of competition individually, maybe taking a year off or missing a year and coming back. What's that like, coming back to the floor after this expectations from the year previously?
Well, I think the younger you are, the harder it is, right? And I think so. As there's unknown, there's also what your self-expectations are. But I think at the very least, allowing a year to train with good focus and direction is always a healthy thing for the athlete. So hopefully, with a good mental aspect and mental game, this can be a really good thing, but no doubt a challenge.
I mean, oftentimes that first event back is the one you got to manage the most, even the first day, depending on how the first event goes, good or bad. But coming in that second day, after day one of competition, coming into Saturday, which is usually a really big day for competition, how do you maybe manage what happened in day one, good or bad, to set yourself up for success for day two?
Yeah, well, I think once you're in it, right? So in day two, you forget about everything, really, the year prior, and your focus is the next event. Your focus is to beat your last event, to feel good, to set yourself up for success. So when it comes to that, it's your blinders are on, and you feel good. Middle of competition is, your body doesn't feel good, but you're in it, as opposed to the first one is nerve-wracking, and obviously the last ones have a lot on the line. But when you're in the middle of it, that's when everything comes to fruition.
Top athletes working through their final round of 7.
Greer now trying to catch up.
Across the board, no one is really separating themselves at the moment. Annika Greer was your early leader, but no one has yet to establish himself ahead of the rest. But as we're looking forward, it looks like Amanda Barnhart is moving back to the deadlifts as she has moved her bar. Paige Powers has moved her bar. So Paige Powers and Amanda Barnhart have now moved themselves ahead of the pack. Here comes Emma Carey. Amanda Barnhart on the right side of your screen in the gray shorts. Emma Lawson to her left in the gray pants is actually behind what looks like maybe a round. We see that Lawson maybe struggling on the bench press. So your top two is going to be Amanda Barnhart and Paige Powers. And you look at these dumbbells, Austin, the basic difference between a barbell bench and a dumbbell bench. You said last time in 2018 when you took on Linda that the bench was the gatekeeper of success here.
Yeah.
The dumbbells, does that make it even a tougher challenge to manage, not just from the weight perspective, but maybe the unfamiliarity?
Well, I think that's just it. Is athletes at this level, they know where their points of failure are, and they have a lot of practice at it under fatigue with different movement patterns. And this is that level of unknown. You'll lead to two things: being too reserved or overshooting. And most athletes in this scenario are going to try to overshoot. You have to trust your ability more than waver. So, and then don't lose sight of the silent, assassin in this workout, which is that lower back, which you might not see too much in this workout, but down the road, it can really lead to, your body getting beat up. So keep an eye on that as athletes in the rest of today.
I mean, and this isn't the first event. I mean, you talk about lower back. Lots of machine work yesterday. The runner, the bike, the skier, that sled pull just totally threw everybody for a loop. So pistols, burpee box jump overs coming into this. Sometimes what we see with Boz's programming is we'll see an element of execution as being a part of this. So if you don't have the best form, back can blow up, shoulders can blow up. How much is execution playing a factor into this test?
Well, a significant amount again, and you'll see it towards the later rounds where, things to look at if you're watching. Elbows, right? Where are the elbows? Watch the elbows on the bench. Are they flaring out? Are they staying in? Where is the bar landing on that rack? Is it up high in the neck or is it low? These are things that add up, and these are small things, but the elbows are a big one to watch for the shoulders, where again, you can muscle through it at this weight. It's not super heavy, but it will start to take a toll on across the board.
Interesting to see from Amanda Barnhart. She did one deadlift drop and then two, and that may be coming into play, as you said, is maybe that back to start talking to him a little bit in these later rounds.
Yeah, the eccentric part of these movements are often overlooked, and there's a lot of movement, and grip is a factor here as well. You're holding on a bar the whole time, so the grip can affect your press. That's a sneaky aspect of the bench press.
Amanda Barnhart, center part of your screen, black shorts, gray top, looking to finish out her round of 4. As Emma Carey to her right in the all black is in her round of 5. Emma Lawson, just out of screen to the far right, is getting to her barbell, and Amanda Barnhart in the center lane will advance forward, and she is now into our 3, 2, and 1 portion of this test. Alexis Raptis on the left in the all black, going rep for rep to her left. Right below her is Caroline Stanley out of College Hill CrossFit. 2 reps. 3 reps done for Amanda Barnhart. Amanda Barnhart on the right side of your screen, right middle, down on her bench press. Having no issues with that dumbbell. We've seen it for 2 heats, Austin, back to back to back. The athlete had the best bench, won their heat. And Amanda Barnhart is shaping up to be one of those athletes.
Yeah, and also, you know, it was interesting to hear in the previous heat experience on the dumbbell, experience benching, and also just longevity. You know, the longer you do CrossFit, the longer you're going to touch these movements like a dumbbell, like a bench. So that, you know, time under tension does matter.
Amanda Barnhart, bottom right side of your screen, now with 2 reps left. Amanda Barnhart coming into day number 2 in 3rd place overall. Behind Emma Lawson and Emma Carey, if she can hold on to this pace, she may put herself in a very good position coming into the second part of the day. And we've got some running and heavy snatches. That's a good event for Amanda Barnhart as well.
Yeah, she's moving well right now. It's smooth. I like to see the jogging from station to station. Those little things start to send a message at this point in the competition.
Amanda Barnhart, 1 deadlift, right side of your screen, moving to the bench press. Amanda Barnhart, center part of your lane, leaning back, going for her last rep of dumbbell bench. And Amanda Barnhart,
oh yeah,
we are at the 11-minute mark, and if she can get in, she can get herself an unofficial event win in semifinals. Linda. And look out for Paige Powers. Paige Powers just running out left side of your screen. She's coming into her final reps. 1 rep left for Paige Powers. Paige Powers coming in left center, all green. She's leaning back for her last dumbbell bench. Here comes Paige Powers. One of those athletes looking to beat Paige Powers. That'll be good for Paige. And that is going to be close to the time set by Napoli in heat number 2. And 2 of the athletes we were talking about coming in that could have some success showed it on the competition floor. It's one thing to do it on paper, it's another thing to do it out here in the field.
That's right. Yeah, and again, you know, the execution on this is a good separator workout and just understanding the balance. But one thing I'm impressed with across the field right now, everyone moving very well. Right, not to lose sight of that. The squat, it just, yes, it's heavy, but people are moving well, and that's allowing them to move quickly through this. So it's just impressive to see.
Emma Carey, right side, right middle in the all black on her final rep. Emma Carey, who's sitting in first overall by just 3 points over Emma Lawson. However, Emma Lawson has fallen well behind the field. You see Alexis Raptis on the left. She's in the set of 2, so Emma Carey could get herself a top finish here. And off screen, Austin Fisagafi has already finished this test. And that is big for an athlete like Fisagafi, who's been trying to knock on that door since the 2019 games, trying to make it individually in the new format. Strength always being a massive limiter for her.
Yeah.
This is a big for Fisagafi.
Yeah.
Alexis Raptis is in. Danielle Brandon, far right side of your screen. She has 1 rep left to go.
Under that 17-minute cap. A little less than 3 minutes remaining.
Right side of your screen is Emma Lawson, who is sitting in 2nd place after a great day yesterday, but it is the dumbbell bench that is starting to become the great equalizer here for these athletes. As you can see, Emma Carey in center screen, first overall coming in. We'll have to see if she holds on to that lead after what Amanda Barnhart just did to semifinal Linda. Emma Lawson onto the dumbbell bench. Still have just over 2 minutes left in this test. Lane number 1, Caitlin Sanders, her final rep. She'll get across right around that 15-minute mark. 15:08 unofficially. Lane number 2, Lexi Neely. She's on her set of 3. Amanda Fisher is done. Caroline Prevost looks like she may be the next to finish. Emma Lawson just crossed the finish line, so the bleeding has stopped for Emma Lawson. And Austin, when you come to an event like this, depending what you're good or you're bad at, you know what it is coming in.
Yeah.
Right? And you got a game plan until we get out here and the beep sounds.
Yeah. And I think that, we all don't know, but every athlete has that sort of, as you said, stop the bleeding type of workout. And the points right now seem a lot more aggressive than they would, towards the end of the weekend. So if you can set yourself up, play damage control, and then set yourself up to win. But again, Emma was in a good position to begin with, as an example. But they know going in where they're going to be. Everyone wants to do better, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
But again, that damage control, and that happens for most all athletes. So that's when you wish you were inside the athlete's mind to know where they were at. Where that could have been a very good performance for many athletes, depending on what they come in with.
10 seconds left to go here in the final heat of the individual women to kick off day 2 for the individuals. Again, the full team broadcast will be coming up here shortly,
A big round of applause for all your athletes here in the
as we will take a